everybody, I'm Trudy, One Grounded Angel, and this is an angel card reading for the week starting the 2nd of August right through to the 8th of August 2021. So we have a Leo new moon happening on Sunday. Leo is the sign of entrepreneurship, which is exciting news for those of you who are wanting to start a new business. Very good time to set goals around that and to really start taking some action steps. It's also the sign of romance, of playfulness, of drama, and of being really out there, I guess, in a way, really live out loud. So those are all great goals, I think, at any time, but particularly in a time when there's a lot going on in the world, and all we can do is focus on what can I do, how can I take back my power and really assert myself in loving ways that are authentic to me. So Monday's card is White Tara Sensitivity. And this is very much about looking after your energy. I know I've talked about this a lot in regards to shielding, particularly last Wednesday's card. But you don't have to be an empath or a sensitive person to really need to protect yourself. I'll read this because there's a lot of different ways the sensitivity could be showing up for you. You are becoming increasingly sensitive. Avoid harsh relationships, environments, situations, and chemicals. That's a lot. So we could be talking about anything from the household chemicals you're using right through to the friendships that you are trying to maintain that are maybe not healthy for you, the workplaces you're going into, anything at all that you know yourself, and always your intuition will give you a steer on this, that are really aggravating your energy in some way. They are really disturbing your emotional health. So trust your own judgment on where that's showing up for you. But the card is asking you to really protect yourself by making sure you're not spending time in situations that are just not healthy for you. So that's a really good approach to think about. And the other thing, I guess, as well, is that sensitivity can be extra aggravated at certain times. So be really careful about that. If you notice you're going through a period in your life where you're just really not up for being around crowds, assuming you're in a country where you're allowed to do that, maybe that's a time you don't go out as much. For me personally, I'm not one for going to the mall in December. It's too crazy. So, and I can just feel everybody's stress around me. So that's just basic self-care, really, setting those boundaries. So I'm going to go on with Tuesday now. Oh, this is a beautiful card. It's called Beloved One, and it's about finding something that's missing. I don't know why it's called Beloved One, I really don't. So this is Archangel Shamuel featured here, and he is the Archangel who helps us find things that are missing. So that can be anything from your car keys right through to your soulmate. So we go micro right through to macro there. So some of you might know, if you grew up in a Catholic household, about Saint Anthony. Same sort of deal here, same equivalent here around, someone from the divine who can help you find something that's missing. And that's not going to be a quick fix if we're talking about that larger missing in terms of the old, but in terms of the soulmate thing, that the larger things that are missing from our lives, a meaningful job, those things don't appear instantly, and we have to work towards them as well and make sure we're not blocking them in any way in terms of a lack of confidence or self-worth or anything like that. So we ask for divine help. That's the short answer here, but also make sure that you are helping yourself there by also helping that come through. So that is Tuesday's card. And if you're looking at that card going, I don't really think there's anything missing in my life, maybe that's just one for you to file away in the back of your mind next time you've lost something. Now, obviously, this is not a substitute for putting the car keys back in the same place each time. Memo to my husband, who's probably not watching this, but if you don't put things back in the same place, if your life is disordered and chaotic, I mean, Shabuel can't really help you with that. We need to be taking responsibility for our personal belongings, of course, and having good systems. Now, Wednesday's card, Twin Flame. Interesting. This is a soulmate again. I often just use the word soulmate instead of twin flame. I find the twin flame thing is a term that confuses people, although it is very widely used in the spiritual community. Twin flame just means someone who, the divinely guided romantic relationship. Now, there are lots of those that we can have, and they're not just romantic as well. Our soulmates can also be, family members, etc., friendships. But this card is really just talking about the romantic relationship. So it does go quite neatly with this one here, beloved one. And that's asking us to really prioritize, if we are looking for a romantic relationship, and not everybody is, to really prioritize that and making sure we're doing, as I said earlier, making sure we're doing everything we can to get ourselves ready for that relationship. We're not blocking it in some way. We're not still carrying the baggage from the old relationship and just thinking, oh, once I meet the next person, it'll go away, or the only thing I need to do is meet the person and all my problems will be fixed. No, we need to resolve our problems, and then we're vibrating at a higher frequency to attract that relationship. So if you are single and you're not looking for a romantic relationship, that is absolutely fine, but you still might like to use this as an opportunity to look for ways to bring more love into your life at maybe a platonic level or self-love level, whatever it is that speaks to you. If you're in a romantic relationship already with your soulmate, then maybe this is just a message about, firstly, giving you confirmation that that's the right, that you are in that relationship, and also just a reminder to keep nurturing that relationship, because the point, I guess, of a romantic relationship that is divinely guided is that it is a path to growth. That means we're going to have situations where we are teaching each other things we need to know, where we're having stuck points that we are needing to work through together. We're not going to try and stuff things down under the carpet and go, oh, we never fight, we're perfect. Because if we're avoiding fighting, we're avoiding the issues. So we need to be dealing with things as they come up, working through them to get a resolution so that we are growing and becoming stronger through that as a couple, as a team. Thursday's card here is about share, the message of love. Another card that perhaps isn't the best name. It's about communication. So I've talked about this before in regards to gossip, making sure that we're using our words in a helpful way rather than in a counterproductive way. We want to be using words to build ourselves up, build other people up, not be trying to tear people down to make ourselves feel better, which never works, let's be honest, and not be trying to also put ourselves down thinking I'll get better if I'm a harsh critic of myself, which just doesn't work. We don't respond well to criticism, we respond well to compassion. So trying some self-compassion instead of any sort of judgy, harsh criticism. Not to say that we can't, give ourselves a hard time now and again, but we don't want to be doing that on the regular, because we're really sending a message to ourselves about our self-worth, which is not going to go well. We also need to think about this for those of you who are feeling like they're on a spiritual path and feeling like they maybe want to step into a space of being a healer, light worker of some sort. This would really be about encouraging you to do that, first of all, but also reminding you that you've got a responsibility to bring more love and light into the world. And how are some good ways for you to do that? So that's a good thing to be thinking about. Maybe you do what I've done and start a social media channel where you share divine messages. Maybe you start a blog where you share your own journey, which helps other people grow. Or you do a channel or something like that. Whatever it is, if you are called to communicate loving messages, go for it. Friday's card here is life purpose, and maybe what I just said about being the healer or being the light worker feeds into this. That is your life purpose. Now, people often get stressed about life purpose because they don't know what it is. A lot of people tell me that's okay. If you don't know yet, that's okay. Sometimes the journey of discovering it is the most important thing. And it will be revealed when you need to know, and unfortunately not before. It's a bit like looking for love. We don't find those things when we're really actively looking for them. We often find them when we're involved in other things. They become apparent to us. So don't be trying to, it's a bit like watching the toaster. It doesn't pop when you're watching it. And that's not to say pretend that you're going about doing some other things in the hopes that you're secretly just waiting for the relationship to come through. It doesn't really work like that. I tried that. I tried to pretend I was not looking anymore, but I was so looking. And it was only when I stopped and started investing my time and energy into developing the spiritual business, that my soulmate just appeared. Obviously, I did a lot of work on myself to get to that point. I'm not saying that's the only thing. Anyway, massive tangent here. Life purpose. Some of you this will be getting this card because it's confirming that what you think is your life purpose is indeed your life purpose. And remember, we have lots of different life purposes. Parenting your children would definitely be one of them. And obviously learning to be a better human in terms of your own personal development is certainly something we're all here to do. And some of you might take this message as really a reminder that a life lived with purpose is a life that has meaning. So if we are just going through the motions, we're in autopilot mode, and we don't feel like we're really fulfilling any meaningful purpose, it's going to be hard for us to feel good about ourselves, good about our lives. It's going to be hard for us to feel, or not to feel like there's something missing. So that's looking for purpose in what you're doing. Maybe you could start doing some volunteer work if that's something that calls to you. You're giving back in some way. You have more purpose in your life. It's up to you to really solve that particular one yourself. And sometimes it's about trying different things and then going, no, that's not quite right for me before you get there. It's not an exact science. So that is Friday. Let me shuffle now for Saturday. Sorry, temporary brain freeze there. I'm forgetting what day comes after Friday. The weekend, the best days, or depending on depending on where you're at. So Saturday, be brave. I really love this. It's, for some reason, this image has always stood out to me as being very powerful. I love the way that it evokes sort of a restful, calm nature with the angel, but also a steely kind of fierce energy with that, I believe, panther. So we've all got the capacity to be brave, but sometimes we think that is something that needs to come in from an external source. We'll ask Archangel Michael to bring through an extra hit of courage for us. But what Michael is doing, if we do that, is just enhancing it from within us. We already have it. We're just, it's buried under all those layers of anxiety and stress. We also have the capacity to be calmer about this. And sometimes that's the right sort of brave that you need in that moment. It's not the aggressive, fiery sort of courage. It's just the quiet determination. I'm going to give this another go. Up to you how you take this, but I would personally see it as a reminder that you do have the capacity to be brave about this. And though it's tempting to avoid the problem and to just hope it gets better, you're really being called to be more assertive in resolving this issue. And yes, you can. So that's Saturday. I think actually the words of Glennon Doyle come up there. We can do hard things. So, although, here we go, Sunday. Totally different tone here. Cherishing self. There's a very celebratory theme here. So we've gone from doing the hard things to celebrating and having the joy and having the rest and really making the most of this beautiful life. I know that's hard at the moment when there's so many challenging experiences going on in the world, but we can still find these moments to celebrate and be thankful for what we've got and really make the most of them. I don't want to bust out the old cliche of smelling the roses, but honestly, that's where joy is sometimes, so making sure we're doing that. Enjoying what you have in your life, but who you are as well. Maybe it's a good time for you to stop and write a list of all the good things that are in your life right now and all the good things that you bring to the world. Maybe that will help you see yourself as a valuable member of this earth and the human race. And maybe it will help you understand your strengths a bit more, which will maybe help you understand your life purpose a little bit more as well. So we've got soulmate relationships, very strong here. And we've also got this life purpose stuff, particularly for those of you who are on a spiritual path. I think that's relevant with this share the message of love about our communication. Actually, we did have a communication card last week as well, last Monday, now I think of it. So there you go. Interesting week. I hope these are helpful for you. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram if you're not already, at @OneGroundedAngel. That's my Instagram handle. Each card goes up there. Always interesting to see the comments, the way different people are interpreting the messages for them. And we must use our own judgment when we see these and follow our own intuition. Also, you'll find me on Facebook, One Grounded Angel, and don't forget my website as well if you want to find out more about the sort of work I do as a healer. I work over Zoom, and my website is www.onegroundedangel.com, www.onegroundedangel.com. And if you want to talk to me about the work I do, potentially doing some healing work with me, you can do that by going to that website and going to the contact form or the bookings form. Yeah, that's basically all you need to know for now. Have a good week. Enjoy the Leo new moon. Maybe see it as a time for setting some goals about what you want to create in your life. Very empowered sign is Leo. Thanks everybody and have a great week.